I'm a doctor, and my estranged dad of 30 years just became my patient. I want to tell him, but I don't know how. My father was my mother's dealer, and as soon as I was born, he immediately gave up all of his parental rights. I tried to get in touch with him in my younger days, and once he even agreed to meet up with me for coffee, but he never showed up. I'd already given up trying to connect with him, but recently something happened. I'm a doctor, and a few weeks ago, as I was checking my schedule, I saw that a patient with my father's exact name had an appointment booked with me. I figured it was just a coincidence, but when the time of the appointment came and I called the name into my office, my father walked in. I tried to appear as normal as possible and treat him like any other patient, but hearing my father's voice for the first time in my life hit me way harder than I ever imagined. I went to the bathroom in the middle of the appointment and violently sobbed. I debated whether or not to tell him, but I decided against it. That night, I went home and told my wife, Emily, everything. Her reaction was a mix of shock and concern. She said that this was my chance to finally get some closure, or maybe try to build a relationship with him. I didn't know if I could do that. I spent so long hating this man for leaving us, and to just reconnect like that just didn't seem realistic. She told me to just think about the idea and not to decide anything at the moment, and that's what I did. The next day at work, I was a mess. My head was filled with thoughts of me as a kid, this patient potentially being my father, and so much more. As I walked through the hospital corridors, I couldn't stop thinking about my father. I tried to focus on my patient, but his face, paired with the photo that was on my grandparents' nightstand, left me feeling like there was an empty space in my heart that needed to be filled. Over the years, it felt like that space was being filled with resentment for a man I'd never known. I begged God for a sign. My first patient of the day was a young boy with his father, both of them laughing and joking. Their bond was heartwarming and tugged at my heartstrings. I thought maybe this was a sign that I should try to build a relationship with my own father. But then, as I was leaving the room, I overheard a heated argument between a father and his teenage son in the waiting area. It made me reconsider my decision to talk to him because I had so much resentment towards him from my childhood that I wasn't sure if I could communicate with him well enough without it being an argument. Throughout the day, I paid close attention to my patients. I saw a father gently comforting his daughter after a difficult diagnosis, and I felt like I was missing out on the relationship I never had. But then, an elderly man came in alone, with no family by his side, reminding me of the isolation my father had chosen for himself all those years ago. During lunch, I sat in the cafeteria, picking at my food, lost in thought. When I was 7 years old, I loved school, but one thing always made me. I thought that he was my father. I felt 100% vulnerable in that moment, like a hermit crab out of its shell. He didn't say anything for a moment and looked at me. His face was soft. He then said that he knew for some time. I was shocked. I asked why he didn't say anything.